Hello again everyone, welcome back to another soap making video. Today I'll be making chocolate soap bars made with 20% organic unrefined cocoa butter with the piping method. I specifically go for unrefined cocoa butter clearly in this recipe because I want the finished product and after the curing time for it to maintain a nice chocolate aroma. And I've been making these particular bars for quite a few years, and I'm really happy with how they turn out. And they just smell edible, and they look really great. They're actually quite popular, and for very good reason. Who doesn't like chocolate? I mean, I love chocolate. I'm sure everybody loves chocolate. So I thought I'll put together a video of how to use piping. It's actually quite simple and straightforward. It's not as difficult as you might think, like if you've never done it before. I use reusable piping bags, and they work really well, and today you'll be seeing how I do it. So just to go over the recipe information, I'm using 50% olive oil, cold pressed extra virgin, 30% organic virgin coconut oil, and 20% organic unrefined cocoa butter. And as mentioned before, it has to be unrefined if you're after the chocolate aroma, otherwise there won't be a chocolate smell. And even if you add cocoa powder, like for the colouring, and even if you add it up to 2 or even 3%, you won't get the chocolate smell. So in this recipe, the cocoa powder is purely just to colour the portion of the batch that you want that chocolate colour for, and the aroma is actually coming from the cocoa butter. So it's really important if you are after a chocolate bar that to use actually unrefined cocoa butter, otherwise you just won't get a chocolate smell. Since I'm scenting this particular recipe with a natural fragrance oil, wild berry and clementine, I thought I'd do a colour combination of obviously the chocolate colour from the cocoa powder and the pink clay. So I split them off into 2 equal parts, and I colour them that way. And for the organic raw sugar, I use the same standard 3%, but this is not a 1,000 gram oil, this recipe. This is a 1,200 gram oil recipe because I am countering in that I am using a good portion at the end for piping, so I want to have enough batter to work with. So that sits at 36 grams instead of the 30 grams I'm used to seeing when I make a 1 kilo batch. And I only went with 1% for pink salt sodium lactate because there is 20% unrefined cocoa butter, and I found in the past if I went to 1.2, 1.5% for each of those, it did crumble just a little bit because cocoa butter really does add a lot more firmness to your bar. So I didn't want to have any issues cutting it or any crumbling going on, so I left that at 1%, and 0.7%, 8.4 grams of natural vitamin E. So because this is 1,200 gram instead of the 1,000 grams, so these values will be slightly different from previous videos where you see me working with 1 kilo batches, but that's the countering for the extra 200 grams in the recipe for the piping, which you will see me do in the next portion of the video. I melted all the oils and the butters together because cocoa butter does have a much higher melt point than coconut oil. So I don't work with the heat transfer method with this recipe because it just doesn't melt the recipe in time, and it just doesn't work. So it's just better to melt them all together on very low heat. I left it for about half an hour on low heat, and they all melted. The sodium lactate is in there already as well. I combined the lye to the melted oils at 35 degrees Celsius, and that just gives you plenty of time to work with, and there's no rushing. If you do go hotter, it will it will firm up and start to trace a lot more quickly because of the cocoa butter. So yeah, I highly suggest just work at the lowest possible temperature you can. I find 35 degrees Celsius a really good temperature to work with for this recipe. So yeah, just keep that in mind when if you do give this recipe a try, or if you give piping a try. Yeah, just to soak at low temperatures to give plenty of time to mix your colours and your fragrances in and split them off. I'll be doing a colour swirl in the mould method, and then I combine the two colours together, and then I put them in the piping bag. So that's what I do for this particular recipe and my other chocolate bars as well. So stay tuned and enjoy the ride. Right, so these were ready to cut after about 2 hours, and as previously mentioned before, I usually do 1.2% sodium lactate and pink salt, but by that time, even the 2 hour mark when they're ready to cut, it would have started to crumble already, so that's why I do keep it at 1%. Yeah, but it's really cold here at the moment, plus the 20% cocoa butter and 30% coconut oil, that's 50% hard oils in the recipe, and yeah, these were ready to cut after 2 hours, just under 2 hours actually, by a few minutes. And yeah, I really like how these turned out. Whenever there is an overflow, because when you do the piping, see on the sides how it can kind of go off the bar, whether it's the back, from the back of the bar, like at the end of the log or on the side, I just get my old cutter. I used to use this cutter, and I just slice it off and it comes off evenly, and it just creates the bars to be nice and even and straight. So if there is any piping hanging off on the sides, don't think that it's your bars ruined or anything. You just slice it off either with an old cutter like this, or you can do it with a knife, or whatever the case is, whatever you just happen to have on hand. I'm really happy with how these turned out. They turned out really, really beautiful. I'm very happy with the end result. They're really easy to do. I mean, as you've seen, they're not, that difficult. You can use reusable or disposable piping bags, whatever you just happen to have on hand. But they create just such a luxurious, really high-end looking bar, So they've, it's, just give it a try, and I really love to hear people that haven't actually done piping before, and if you wanted to give it a try, just let me know how you go in the comment section, or even just send me through. I really like when viewers send me pictures of recipes they have tried of mine, or if they're trying something new from one of my videos. I really enjoy actually receiving pictures, so by all means head on over to Instagram and follow me there and send me some direct messages if you like. I've always loved seeing new designs and creations, and if I happen to inspire you to try something new or different, I really like to see your creation. So don't be shy and just head on over, and I'm always happy to look at new designs and new pictures, and even myself get inspired for creating future videos or future products. I do believe that we can all inspire each other one way or another. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and the tutorial on how to use piping in your soap recipe. Remember to share and like this video and subscribe to my channel. Head on over to Dawn Organics on Facebook and Instagram. Follow me there. And I always love receiving messages through Instagram as well. I find Instagram easier to respond to messages. Facebook interface on pages is just a little wonky, so if you want to send me a message, I actually get notified on Instagram. Facebook doesn't notify me all the time, and they just remain there unanswered. So if you do want to send me direct messages, I encourage to do that through Instagram. I find it a lot more user-friendly when you're running a page, especially a business page on Facebook. It's really annoying sometimes. So I look forward to receiving any messages or pictures on Instagram, and also reading all the positive comments in the comment section. Thanks to everyone that's watching and subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate all the positive feedback I've been getting. And until next time, be safe and happy soaping. Bye for now.